Hello, welcome Gunners, and I'm finally back. I think I have not posted in a month because I was busy with my own marriage, and now finally I'm married, and now I have time to start all over again. And this time I'm going to make sure that I'm going to invest myself more with the news, whether it be the transfer news or my reactions and my analysis. So right now, actually, I was thinking because I know I was not posting much, but obviously I was looking at Arsenal. Even if the match would have been at the day of my marriage, I would have seen the match. Of course, not the complete match, but highlights, of course. But when it comes to Arsenal right now, Arsenal are really in a mess, if I can say. Not completely mess, but you know the season is already over. When the January transfer window got over, we were more or less sure that how the season is going to end for us, and it's somewhere going on the same line. Of course, if you do not sign a single striker when we were in the need of it, of course the team is going to suffer, and that's what happened. When Arsenal failed to sign a single attacker, we almost got our hands on Watkins, yes, but I think when John Duran's transfer got finalized with El Nassr, we all knew that we are signing nobody. And I think it makes sense also that Arsenal are saving money. They do not wanted to target a player who is getting into 30s and is not a long term solution for our striker. But I think that Arsenal are saving big for the summer window. But I'm not keeping my hopes high because, like, we already heard news of Zubimendi that Zubimendi's transfer is more or less sorted. But see now Real Madrid has come knocking, and when Real Madrid comes knocking, you know more or less the player is gone. And when it comes to Zubimendi, I think that Zubimendi is gone because whether it's a verbal agreement with Arsenal and everything is settled and everything, but I think that he will not sign for us because he has declined to join the Premier League clubs like Liverpool and Man City and even Arsenal just because he wanted to stay in Spain. And Real Madrid, of course, is a Spanish club and, of course, is the biggest club in the world. And when it comes knocking, I think it's a different kind of knock. Nobody denies. Like 90% of the time, they know that they have got the hands on the player. And if they have not got the hands on the player turns out to be probably not that great as well. We have seen with Euro, we have seen with I think Konate also. I think Konate they are targeting, but I think we have seen this with Euro as well. That Manchester United were going crazy. That we signed Euro, who was a target for Real Madrid, and he chose United over it. But no, I think Real Madrid backed off with the price tag. I think Real Madrid. We always say that Real Madrid splashes the cash crazily, but I don't agree that they are very smart with their buys and how they signed now Trent Alexander-Arnold for almost like a free fee. We always say it's a free, but there are a lot of different hidden charges, if I can say, when they sign a player. And Liverpool fans have gone bonkers and they are saying Trent Alexander Arnold should never play for the club again. The remaining season, he should be on the bench and probably not even on the bench. So it's crazy how pool fans are treating him because he was about to go with a good amount of fee in January transfer window, and Liverpool denied him that exit, and now he's going for free. So he's doing what he likes. You cannot hate him for that. I think he is allowed to have a bigger ambition, and there is no bigger ambition than Real Madrid for a footballer. So coming back to Arsenal again, Zubimendi, I think is more or less gone, and apart from Zubimendi, I think Arsenal are in for Bruno Guimaraes, and Bruno Guimaraes is actually a good player because Arsenal were in for him and Newcastle snatched it, and of course he turned out to be a great signing for them. And Andre Berta, the new sporting director of Arsenal, not yet announced but will be a new sporting director of Arsenal, has stated that he wants Bruno Guimaraes and Zubimendi both at Arsenal. Seems a little unrealistic when it comes to me. It comes to the history of Arsenal that we are going to sign two huge players. Knowing that I know that Thomas Partey and Zubimendi both are going to leave, but I don't think that we are going to target two central midfielders or central defensive midfielders in this season in this summer transfer window. When it comes to Arsenal's primary targets, I think Arsenal's primary target, not just I think, but the rumors going around says that Arsenal's primary targets are two attackers. One, of course, is a striker. Thank God, is a striker, and the other one, of course, is a winger. And when it comes to winger, we all know how much Mikel Arteta and even Arsenal adores Nico Williams. Nico Williams, who is who is very keen on joining Barcelona, has now stated that he is open to move to a Premier League club, and Arsenal are one of the front runners. And one of the reporters and the journalist from Germany has stated that we are even ahead of Bayern Munich in signing him. So I hope it's true, and I hope we end up getting Nico Williams because he's a baller. He's a bloody good player, and if he signs, I think it makes way for Trossard to, of course, exit from the window. It is stated that Arsenal are going to lose one big player, one top 11 player of Arsenal. And I hope it's not William Saliba. When it comes to William Saliba, of course, it has been stated that he is targeted by Real Madrid again, but they have shifted. Real Madrid has shifted their attention on Houston from Bournemouth, and it's a good sign for us. And Houston is a brilliant, brilliant player. Sold at 15 million from Juventus, and now he's balling at Bournemouth and playing for the Spanish side as well, in Spanish international side, and he's a brilliant, brilliant player. But coming back again to the Arsenal, I think Nico Williams will be a good signing if we end up signing him. I hope that we win the race for him because he's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant player. And now coming to the biggest, biggest, biggest news: Arsenal are in for an attacker, the striker, and Arsenal are in love with Alexander Isak. Whew, it's a love story, and Arsenal are in complete love with Isak, but he is the like right now the hottest property. He will be the hottest property in the summer transfer window, and there are four clubs who are interested in him. Of course, it's Arsenal who are in absolute love with him. The other club which is interested in him is Liverpool and Chelsea and Barcelona. Now, when it comes to the arrogance of Liverpool and Chelsea, they have already expected that he is going to join them, and they have started like very optimistic in a very optimistic manner. The fans have started making the lineups and everything. How Isaac is going to ball in their team, and I don't know what to say to them. I don't know what to say to them. But Alexander Isak, I think Arsenal is it's Arsenal's top priority for the striker. And if we sign Alexander Isak, I think Arsenal is going to be complete. Finally, I can say that Arsenal will be complete if we are able to sign Alexander Isak. He's a brilliant player. There is no denying in that. I think Arsenal. Opted not to sign him like 2 or 3 transfer windows ago because I think he was 2 transfer windows ago actually, because I think he was injury prone and Newcastle were ready to splash the cash for him, and Arsenal were of course playing by the rules and did not splash the cash on him. But again, coming back to that Arsenal's love for Isaac, I think he's a brilliant player. I think there, of course, we see little glimpses of Thierry Henry in him, and he also loves Thierry Henry as he has stated. So I hope that we sign. The other target for Arsenal in the striker department, I think, is Victor Gyökeres. The latest news has stated that Arsenal have made sure that they have a formal meeting with the agent of Victor Gyökeres and to discuss his transfer. And I hope that it's true. Victor Gyökeres again, one of the hottest prospect. Like these are the 2 hottest prospects, and if we manage to get the hand on either of them, I think Arsenal are going to ball in the league, and Arsenal will be again playing the fluent football. And I hope we are able to sign him. The other uncanny, if I can say, if there is one more signing which Arsenal are linked with, and I don't think I think it's just a rumor. I don't think it's even true that Andre Berta, who is going to sign for as our sporting director, he's a big fan of Lautaro Martinez, I think, and he wants to bring Lautaro Martinez to Arsenal, and I don't know how it's going to match with Mikel Arteta's philosophy, and so I don't know how it's going to work out. But out of these 3 strikers, if we manage to get either of it, it's going to be good. My, of course, preference would be Alexander Isak, but how my preference is going to matter, we all know it matters nothing. None of the fans' preference matter because I think it's how the board is going to work through it and how the board is going to be able to manage to get a signing. But Isak is not going to come less than like 110, 120 million. And if Arsenal are ready to splash the cash for him, which I think Arsenal have saved the money by not spending the money in the January transfer window, I think it will be a huge deal. And if Arsenal want to sign Isak, if I say out of all these 3, if Arsenal want to sign anyone of the attacker, Arsenal need to do it before the preseason. If Arsenal wait a little too long for negotiations to go. I think Arsenal are going to lose out on them because other teams will splash the cash. Chelsea will splash the cash. Liverpool will splash the cash, of course. And Barca, I don't know how they are going to splash the cash, but they will splash the cash. I think Arsenal needs to work really quick, and before like even the transfer window begins, and like in a week or two, or probably like 3 weeks, Arsenal need to get over with the transfers, especially of either of the attacker out of the three, Isak, Gyökeres, or Lautaro Martinez, or and Arsenal need to get Nico Williams as well if they are targeting him. So another target actually which Arsenal are looking for is Leroy Sané and Puemo from Brentford for the right wing. So Arsenal, it is said that Arsenal are willing to splash 300 million in this transfer window. To be very honest, I think it's false. I don't think Arsenal are going to splash that much of money in this in any transfer window. I think Arsenal are ambitious, but not that crazy ambitious to splash that money. They always try to play by the rules and not overhype the player, overpay the player. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but I don't know. Somewhere I do not see that much of optimism. Knowing how probably it's because how the January transfer window went through, but let's see how it goes and let's see how we are able to manage to get such huge players. But one thing is for sure, Arsenal are going to try to get huge players, and Arsenal need to get the huge players because I think it's high time. I think it's the last season Arteta will get, and I think Arteta needs to deliver this time a trophy. And I am saying it with all my heart. When I say trophy, it's not a FA Cup or an EFL Cup. It has to be Premier League. It has to be Premier League. And I think I do not doubt Arteta's ambition. I do not doubt the fact that he is ambitious for the club and he does not think of it. I do not agree with the fans that he has already reached his limit, and I think he has really a huge level left in him, which is going to be unlocked. Imagine having so many players injured and we are still in the race for title. I know I'm saying we are in the race of title and we are actually not, but to be in so close to Liverpool after having so many injuries, Liverpool would not have survived. Liverpool would not have survived without Van Dijk, and Liverpool would not. And you know how Liverpool struggled when Van Dijk was injured. You know how Liverpool struggled when Salah does not play a single match. So I mean, I completely agree with the fact that how it's going to affect Liverpool if they do not have it. But I don't want to use it as an excuse. I am just specifying myself, of course, what has happened. And now when it comes to Arsenal versus Real Madrid, now it is, we all know somewhere the result that Real Madrid, when it comes to Champions League, it is quite an answer that like Real Madrid are not going to slip. Real Madrid will win the matches. They have been probably not even the top 20 team when they were in the table when in the Champions League started. But now see how they are performing, and there is nobody better than Real Madrid in the Champions League. We all know that, and it feels like a El Clasico final. But I hope Arsenal moves on and Arsenal gets the result. I feel that Arsenal are going to play a little defensive, but playing defensive against the like of Mbappe, Junior, and Rodrigo, it's going to be. And I think Mbappe and Rodrigo are actually more dangerous than Vinicius Junior when it comes to Champions League. Rodrigo is a beast in the Champions League. So let's see what happens. Let's see how Arsenal fares and how we end this season. I am not disappointed with the season. I must tell you, I'm not that disappointed with the season. Of course, I think that we could have, or we should have scrapped out probably a EFL Cup or probably a FA Cup. But what happened. I don't want to be stuck in the past, and let's move on. Let's support the Gunners until the season is not over. It's not over for us. We never know what happens. I'm trying to be optimistic and support the Gunners, love the Gunners, stop the hate, and let's get the team. Like, let's give the support and love the team deserves. And yeah, that's about it. So let me know, what do you think about my opinion? If you have any information, if you feel that you have any opinion which differs my opinion, please drop your comments in the box and let me know what you feel about it. Thank you so much, Gunners. Good to see you back.